Sam Kane has spent the majority of his rugby career competing against the very best players the game has to offer. From his early days with the Chiefs to becoming captain of the All Blacks, he has shared the field with world-class teammates and battled elite opponents in some of rugby's biggest test matches. Few players understand what true greatness looks like better than the former New Zealand skipper. That is why his recent comments about Cheslin Kolbe have attracted so much attention throughout the rugby world. When someone with Kane's experience says a player belongs among the greatest of all time, rugby fans tend to listen carefully. His praise was not based on a single unforgettable performance or a spectacular highlight reel. Instead, it came from something even more valuable: seeing Kolbe train, compete, and perform week after week as a teammate in Japan. After the 2023 Rugby World Cup, Sam Kane made the move to Suntory Sungoliath, beginning a new chapter in his professional career. While many supporters expected him to enjoy a slower pace in Japan, the move instead gave him the unique opportunity to work alongside one of the most electrifying players rugby has ever produced. Cheslin Kolbe, already a two-time Rugby World Cup winner with the Springboks, was also representing Suntory Sungoliath, allowing the two international stars to build a relationship that had previously been defined only by fierce test match battles. Throughout his playing career, Kane had become accustomed to extraordinary talent. He played with dangerous finishers such as James Lowe, Tim Nane-Williams, Julian Saviour, Corey Jane, Waisake Naholo, and the brilliant Will Jordan. Each of those players possessed qualities that made them special, whether it was pace, strength, vision, or finishing ability. Yet despite being surrounded by elite backs for well over a decade, Kane admitted that Kolbe still managed to surprise him in ways he never expected. Speaking during the aftermatch with Kirsten Beeve, hosted by former All Blacks fly half Stephen Donald, Kane described watching Kolbe at training as a completely different experience from watching him during weekend matches. Supporters often see the dazzling sidesteps, impossible finishes, and breathtaking moments during international fixtures, but teammates witness those skills every single training session. According to Kane, that daily exposure only strengthened his belief that Kolbe belongs in rugby's greatest ever conversation. When Stephen Donald asked whether Kolbe possessed the most incredible footwork he had ever encountered, Kane answered without hesitation. His response was immediate and confident. He explained that television simply cannot capture the full picture. Watching Kolbe in person every day reveals levels of balance, acceleration, and creativity that are difficult to appreciate from the stands or through a broadcast camera. What impressed Kane even more was the consistency. Spectacular moments occasionally happen in professional rugby, but producing them repeatedly during training against elite defenders is something entirely different. According to the former All Blacks captain, Kolbe would score tries during practice that left experienced professionals shaking their heads in disbelief. Defenders knew exactly what he wanted to do, yet stopping him remained almost impossible. That observation says a great deal about Kolbe's unique talent. Professional rugby players spend countless hours studying opponents, improving defensive systems, and preparing for every possible attacking move. They understand angles, timing, spacing, and body positioning better than almost anyone. Yet even against teammates who trained with him every week, Kolbe continued producing moments that seemed almost impossible. His trademark sidestep has become one of rugby's most recognizable weapons. Unlike players who rely solely on raw speed, Kolbe combines lightning acceleration with extraordinary balance and remarkable awareness. His movements appear unpredictable because he can change direction without losing momentum. Defenders often commit their weight one fraction too early, allowing him to glide effortlessly into open space. What makes those qualities even more remarkable is his physical stature. Rugby has traditionally celebrated towering wings capable of winning aerial contests and overpowering defenders. Kolbe has challenged that traditional thinking throughout his career. Rather than relying on size, he relies on timing, agility, courage, intelligence, and relentless determination. Time after time, he has demonstrated that heart and skill can overcome significant physical disadvantages. Sam Kane highlighted exactly that point during his interview. He explained that many smaller players succeed because they throw themselves fearlessly into collisions. While Kolbe certainly possesses courage, his influence extends well beyond bravery. Whether making a crucial tackle, contesting a breakdown, chasing kicks, or supporting attacking movements, he consistently contributes across every area of the game. His defensive commitment is often overlooked because attacking highlights naturally receive greater attention. Yet coaches value players who contribute without possession just as much as those who score spectacular tries. Kolbe repeatedly places himself in difficult defensive situations against much larger opponents and rarely backs away from physical contests. His willingness to compete reflects the competitive culture that has defined the modern Springboks under Rassie Erasmus. Since Rassie Erasmus returned to lead South Africa, the national side has developed a reputation for combining traditional physical dominance with increasing creativity. While the Springboks remain one of rugby's toughest teams defensively, they have also embraced attacking players capable of producing moments of brilliance. Few players symbolize that balance better than Kolbe, whose flair complements South Africa's structured game plan perfectly. Over the past several seasons, Kolbe has produced unforgettable moments on rugby's biggest stages. Whether stepping defenders in open play, chasing tactical kicks, applying relentless defensive pressure, or creating opportunities from seemingly impossible situations, he has repeatedly demonstrated why opponents regard him as one of the game's most dangerous players. His performances in World Cups and major test matches have strengthened his reputation as a player capable of changing contests within seconds. Perhaps what impressed Kane most was how ordinary extraordinary moments had become inside the Suntory Sungoliath environment. He joked that teammates eventually reached a stage where another remarkable Kolbe try during training almost became routine. Yet despite growing accustomed to those magical moments, he still found himself amazed by finishes that nobody else seemed capable of producing. That perspective carries enormous significance because it comes from someone who understands elite performance at the highest level. Kane captained the All Blacks, experienced Rugby World Cups, won international titles, and played alongside countless legendary players. His standards for greatness are exceptionally high. For him to place Kolbe among rugby's greatest ever talents reflects genuine admiration rather than casual praise. The relationship between All Blacks and Springboks players has also evolved considerably over recent years. On the field, matches between New Zealand and South Africa remain among rugby's fiercest rivalries. Every contest carries enormous history, national pride, and global attention. Off the field, however, increasing numbers of international players now compete together in club competitions around the world. Those experiences have helped build friendships that transcend traditional rivalries. Kane acknowledged exactly that during his interview. While discussing Kolbe, he emphasized how welcoming many Springboks players have been throughout his career. Test rugby is intensely competitive, but mutual respect often develops between opponents who understand the sacrifices required to reach the highest level. During his time in Japan, Kane also strengthened his friendship with Jesse Kriel, who plays for Cannon Eagles. Because the two clubs are located relatively close to one another, opportunities to meet away from rugby have naturally followed. Shared dinners and conversations away from the pressure of competition have allowed both players to know each other beyond their international reputations. Looking back further, Kane remembered first encountering Kriel when both were young internationals establishing themselves within their respective national squads. Entering senior environments at similar ages created common experiences that naturally encouraged friendships. Young players often seek familiar faces while adapting to the demands of international rugby, and those early interactions helped build lasting respect. Another figure singled out by Kane was Kolisi. Widely respected across world rugby for both his leadership and character, Kolisi has earned admiration not only for his achievements on the field but also for his efforts to connect with people away from the game. According to Kane, the Springboks captain consistently made an effort to build relationships beyond the rugby field, demonstrating warmth and generosity whenever opportunities arose. Stories like these provide valuable insight into international rugby's culture. Fierce competition during 80 minutes does not prevent genuine friendships from developing afterward. Players understand the commitment, discipline, and sacrifices required to compete at the highest level, creating a bond that often extends beyond national rivalries. For supporters, hearing respected All Blacks openly praise leading Springboks reinforces the extraordinary standards currently present in international rugby. Greatness is not measured solely by trophies or statistics but also by the respect earned from fellow professionals. When one elite player publicly acknowledges another's exceptional ability, those compliments often carry greater weight than any headline or social media debate. As rugby continues evolving, conversations about the greatest players of all time will always remain subjective. Every generation produces icons who redefine expectations and inspire future stars. Yet Cheslin Kolbe's influence on the modern game is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. His combination of courage, creativity, consistency, and match-winning brilliance has established him as one of rugby's defining figures of this era. Whether representing the Springboks in World Cup finals, thrilling supporters in domestic competitions, or astonishing teammates during ordinary training sessions in Japan, Kolbe continues to remind everyone why he commands such universal admiration. When a respected competitor like Kane declares that he belongs among rugby's greatest players, it reflects years of observation rather than a moment of excitement. It is recognition earned through relentless excellence, remarkable professionalism, and an ability to achieve things on a rugby field that very few athletes in history have ever been capable of producing.